The Dungeon Minister! They were supposed to find a werewolf's den back out into the room with the 2 sarcophagi. It's fool's gold. Sleep. Boom! And in they go. Toads! And let him hop out. And there's that dull knocking sound. The penitent shall pass. Everyone drops. There's a stone here that doesn't match. And they shoot out again. This trap does reset itself. I don't care how it works. I don't have to know. 2 huge stone creatures swooping in, crashing in. They do crumble into pieces. The party is really banged up, though. There's a statue of a man up there, and he's holding a broken spear in his hand. Borvo. It's flowing backward. Wounds that you have begin to seal up. So this is a serious healing pool here. Boom! There's a small werewolf and a big werewolf. And runs after him because he wants to see him get, caught in the trap. He runs him through. Well, we could just kill him. Let's just kill him, right? So they do. What they enter is essentially a barracks. Poison needle just by the hasp. They open the chest. It's empty. There's another passage out, and it swings open. I say, you see nothing but darkness ahead of you. Casts it on the lantern, and in they go. The light pierces the gloom of a large chamber. There are 4 pillars helping to hold up the ceiling. That's how big a room you are entering. As you enter, the light illuminates the center but leaves the edges in shadow. You come to the middle and they say, let's just stop. Is there anything in here? You can hear breathing. Soft breathing. More than one creature. Those eyes glistening out of the darkness at you. And then, from the darkness emerges a huge wolf. Flanking it, others come, circling you. There are 4 of them surrounding you. What do you do? Well, after we empty our pants, we're just gonna slowly back out of the room. You take a step back. The large wolf steps forward. All right, we've got 4, and they might be werewolves. Weapons out. Let's get ready. As they pull their weapons, the wolves leap to the attack. 4 of them. Boom! And battle on. Because of the layout, 2 of them are on Fleetwood. One runs to Touchberry. The other, the big one, charges Bob Johnny. Fullfire drops back because she wants to have room for missile attack. She drops back and begins firing, and the fight is on, and it does not go real well for Touchberry at first. Actually, at first it goes really well. He deals a crushing blow. His first hit, he slices in, stabs in, and it's just huge. Like, he does 9 points of damage right off the top of the bat, right? And at one point, Fleetwood rolls a 20, which I do double damage plus bonuses. So he has a huge hit. Bob Johnny, meanwhile, takes his great axe and says, Grossingas! And he swings a fiery axe at his opponent, and he's doing okay, holding his own. The battle is kind of looking like they've got it in hand, when suddenly, from either side, 2 more wolves leap in, one at Fullfire, the other at Touchberry. They had 6 of them in the room and had sent 2 around to attack from the sides and behind. Now it's serious. Touchberry begins to take some heavy, heavy damage. Bob Johnny's doing better. He hits his wolf so hard, I say that is a morale check, and I roll it, and the creature fails. But it's the leader of this group, so it's not going to flee entirely, but it runs to the other side of the room and keeps snarling at the others. Remembering that direwolves are semi-intelligent, so they can communicate, right? So he's ordering his troops here, but he's done with the fight himself. He orders the wolf that had attacked Fullfire to turn on Bob Johnny, right? So Fullfire, the heat's off of her, which is good, because she was about to get really, really chewed up. Touchberry Touchberry is taking hit after hit after hit after hit, and he is down, 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 doobie-doo, down, down. Stole your joke. All the way down to like 8 hit points at one point, 7 hit points he's at. All right? It's getting desperate for him, but he refuses to retreat. Touchberry doesn't retreat. He's gonna fight. Okay. And here I make a decision. I have been, pretty cautious about character death, right? I have been pretty careful not to put them in a situation which is inescapable. I don't like no-win situations anyway. It's not a game that way. But I've been pretty careful with the characters because they're my kids. And you kill a 7 or 10-year-old's character, the 12-year-old, well, frankly, the 12-year-old wouldn't like it either. You kill it, especially the 7 and 10-year-old, though. You kill their character, and man, that's heavy. That's heavy. So I've been pretty careful. I announce at this point, Touchberry, if you stay in this combat, you may die. Your character may die. Well, you won't die. You're fine. You're just playing a game. Your character may die. But he says, I don't retreat. Touchberry never retreats. Okay. I roll. He's got 2 of them on him still. I roll 1. Miss. I roll the other. Hit. Now, the direwolf in BECMI does 2d4 with its bite. It could be bad. 1, 4. Okay, that's a 3. That's a 3. All right. Second 4. Oh, 1. Touchberry is down to 3 hit points, and there are still 2 direwolves on him. Fortunately, at this point, Bob Johnny has struck such a wallop to the direwolf that had attacked him that he turns to help out his friend and comes in and attacks one of them, and with one blow, finally Bob Johnny found his dice again, with one blow takes this thing down to like half hit points, another morale check. There's another one running. The other one that Bob Johnny fought runs, and this one runs. They, in fact, don't kill many of these things. Most of them run. So we've now got 2 of them plus 1 of Fleetwood's have all run. There's another exit to the north. They have all booted it for that exit. And so now we just have the big guy left, and we have 2 others. 2 others still fighting. One fighting Touchberry and one other fighting Fleetwood. The one fighting Touchberry goes to attack again, and I decide now, because Bob Johnny's joined this fight, and I'm going to roll a dice. Which one does he pick? Oh, thank heavens he picks Bob Johnny. He lunges for Bob Johnny, and hits, but Bob Johnny has it to spare, right? And so he's okay, and then Touchberry hits and gets him down so far that it's another morale check. That one decides to run, right? But his position demands that he can't run freely to the door, so he's got to juke around, and as he goes, Faux Fire lines him up for a shot, and he goes down. All right, so that one dies. The other one that Fleetwood was fighting also goes down to death, and the big one charges back into the fight at this point. There's no option for him. The characters now have him pretty well bottled up, and he's taken down. I can't remember who takes him down. It's either Bob Johnny or Touchberry takes him down, and the big one dies. And now they wait. Are they going to transform into anybody? Because they don't know what kind of wolves these are, right? They could be dire wolves. They're clearly not normal wolves. They could be dire wolves. They could be werewolves, right? Are they going to transform? Are they going to transform? Do we have lycanthropy now? Touchberry is particularly worried because, of course, he's down to 3 hit points. Fleetwood is down to 5, so he's also pretty nervous. Bob Johnny is down as well in the low 20s, high teens or something. Faux Fire came out relatively unscathed because she dropped back and the one attacking her was called off to attack Bob Johnny. Again, ranged attacks. She generally doesn't get as much damage as the boys do. So they're all a little worried, and they watch these creatures, and nobody transforms. They're just dire wolves, right? Just dire wolves, but they're not werewolves. Phew! Okay, we need to rest. Touchberry says, no, let's keep going. No, Touchberry, we need to rest. And use your sword. Oh, you've already used it. Darn. Oh, we've got to go back to the pool. Everyone, back to the pool. So Touchberry agrees, okay, we can go back to the pool. They go back in, They jump in the pool. It doesn't heal them all that much, right? They each get a few hit points. Fofire fine. She's back up to full. But they don't get back up to full because it reaches the 15. I've been keeping track of how many points have been doled out. It will do 15 hit points of healing to each person per day, right? Okay, so they're going to have to sleep. Finally, they convince Touchberry, no, we are going to camp out. We will use the werewolves' room. We'll go in there. All right, how about the doors? Which way do the doors swing? And I describe it. The one that they entered through into this room to begin with swings into the room. The other one swings out into the large hall. Okay, so we'll wizard lock that one, and we'll pile stuff against the other that swings in. We'll pile stuff against that. It'll at least make a noise. All right. They go to sleep. I do roll random encounter to see if any of the wolves come back. They do not. They do not come back. They wouldn't have gotten through, obviously, because dire wolves can't open wizard-locked doors. I don't even know if they can open normal doors, and they're not velociraptors. Anyway, nothing comes. They get a decent night's sleep. Everyone gains a few hit points back. And then first thing in the morning, Touchberry uses his sword, and everyone goes to the pool. All right, and they don't get all the way up to full, but they do get some hit points back, and they're doing a little better. They're feeling a little more confident. And they also decide to search this room, which they hadn't done before. They saw the chest, and they thought that was it. They searched the room. Under one of the mattresses, one of the used mattresses, the one that has slightly nicer sheets, you find a pouch. And in that pouch there are some gems and there are some electrum coins. Oh, very good, very good, very good. Okay. They also check for secret doors, which they've been doing all along. They didn't find anything, but they've been doing it all along. They've been checking for secret doors as they go. They check for secret doors here. They don't find anything. They go back into the wolf room. Is there any change? No, the bodies of the wolves are still there. You don't see anything. Well, let's look around, see if there's any treasure. Well, there's no treasure in here. There are the remnants of a larger encampment. There's some stores of food that they find. There's some furniture, stools and things like that, some tables off in the corners. Clearly, this was a larger encampment at some time. But all that was left now were the dire wolves and 2 werewolves as their sort of keepers, masters, etc., right? It's an outpost. It's being held, well, not anymore. It was being held in case they wanted to use it later, all right? They search around and find nothing, and they almost forget, but then they decide, oh yeah, secret doors. We'll search for secret doors. All right. And this is both elves, by the way, and Fofire. I always give thieves the ability to find secret doors equal to elves, because, like, why would they not have that? It just seems silly to me that a thief wouldn't be able to find a secret door. Like, it seems right in their bailiwick. So I'm rolling for all of them, searching secret doors, and they say, we're going to follow each other down the wall. They always do this. So that, like if one person checks one wall, that's only one check. But if they all check all the walls, right? It's tactical. It's time-consuming, but it's tactical. So I'm rolling dice like till Tuesday here. And they find one. They find one. It's Bob Johnny who discovers it. On the south wall, a secret door. Okay. Does it open? Yeah, it's not locked. It's just, okay, check it for traps, check it for traps. So Fofire checks it for traps. And there's nothing there. She doesn't find anything. They open it. It's not trapped. There's a corridor beyond. Okay, let's go. Now, this corridor wraps back around and comes to the fountain room, where they did check for secret doors but didn't find one, right? It comes back to the fountain room. As they walk down the corridor, I say, you begin to feel a little funny. Oh, how funny. What's happening? You feel some of the aches and pains are gone. Some of the just, the ordinary everyday, your knees feel a little better, okay? And Fofire turns around to say, I don't know what's going on, and you look at her face. Fofire, what? You look so young. My wife did not appreciate that. This corridor, if you go through it in this direction, for every 10 feet you go, it will take 5 years off of your age. If you go the other way, it will add 5 years for every 10 feet. Now, they've only gone about, 15 feet. So the effect isn't huge, but it's noticeable, especially in the human, right, who ages the most. Right? The halfling, you can kind of tell, Touchberry looks a lot younger. The elves, you look a bit younger, right? Because they age so slowly. 5 years doesn't do much to them. And Fofire was in the lead because she was checking for traps. Clearly younger. They decide at that point, we're not going any further. Because they don't know how fast it works, and they don't want to all end up as toddlers at the other end. In fact, if they go through the whole thing, they'd vanish from existence. They would age themselves down to nothing, right? Because it's long enough. If they went the other way, of course, all but the elves would be dead by the end of it. If they went in the aging way. The only cure for this is that pool. The only cure is that pool. They don't particularly want to cure this. They're like, hey, more energy. This is fine. This is great. All right. Do we get do we lose experience? Do we lose any light? No. It's just your body. Fabulous. Okay, Freaky Friday. Let's go. Okay. They decide to leave this area, and they say, we better keep this a secret, or people are going to be coming out here. Like, we could sell tickets. It's like an eternal, but going backward through it doesn't, No, one thing I wrote into it is that as you go in, it will work. Whichever direction you start from, it works. But if you turn around and go back, it doesn't undo it. Now, if you turned around and went into the other end and went that way, it would. That is, I should have said when I said there's one cure, there are two. If you go all the way around and start from the beginning to go back. But if you stop halfway and turn around and go back, it doesn't undo what you've just done. You have to enter through the beginning for it to begin, to start working on you. Anyway, we could sell tickets to this place. Old people could come out here and get young again, and teenagers who are sick of their parents could go a couple of feet in and come out as a 20-year-old, and you can't tell me what to do. Anyway, so they decide they're going to keep it very secret, and they will go out the east door. Through that way, I say, you feel a sort of fresher breeze come in, and now, at this time of day, you see light coming from there. You're nearing an exit, it looks like. Okay. Cautiously, they proceed. They enter a room, 30 by 50, so a decent-sized room, and this end of it is flooded. So first things first, okay, we're tapping the ground with our weapons. We're not going, they should have had a 10-foot pole. Anyway, we'll tap the ground with our swords. I'm not falling into anything, No, there's no collapse here. All right, in you go. Incidentally, Fleetwood has once again cast light into his lantern, the same as he did the day previous, so he's using that. The light infiltrates the water, and you can see there's a staircase here descending. There's something down there, but it is entirely flooded. Well, okay, we don't breathe water or anything. Maybe if we get a breathe water spell or a breathe water potion, we could go down there, but for now we'll just leave it. It's probably a bunch of water weirds anyway. Okay. They go to the other side. Here you see a staircase ascending. Okay. Well, I don't know where that comes out. We don't want to go that way. We should backtrack. We should go back to the beginning, leave through the door we came in. We clearly found the wolves' den. The dire wolves have run away. We've killed the werewolves. We should leave. And that's when Fofire says, we haven't checked for secret doors in here. Glad she'd said it. And they do. And they find one. In what is, I guess, it's the east wall. They find a secret door. Is it trapped? Fofire? She checks. She would fail, but it's not trapped, so you don't find any traps. Okay, can we open it? Yeah, you find the device in it that makes it open. I don't know, a loose brick, a book you pull off the shelf.
Put the candle back.
Anyway, you open up the passage, and beyond you see another room. It looks circular. In the center of it stands a statue on a plinth. This looks like the little statue on the top of the fountain. His hand also holds a broken spear, an iron bar that's been put in to make the spear. Shattered in the middle, you can see jagged edges where it's been sculpted to look like it's broken apart. He holds this broken spear. But his hand, instead of gesturing down, in it is a shield. Well, is it a stone shield or is it... No, it's a shield. Ooh. Okay. Fleetwood goes forward and says, can I see how the shield is held? So yeah, you can look up in there, look around. Its handles are simply draped over the hand. Okay. I'll just take that and slides it off the end of the arm. As soon as the shield is off the hand, there's a grinding sound, and of course Fleetwood leaps back with this shield, and the arm lowers down to the side. Doesn't attack, doesn't move anymore. Simply stands holding the spear. And then a voice. Stand. Stand and be judged. Stand and be judged? Well, we're already standing. Well, what else do you want us to do? Place your weapon at my feet. Place our weapons at your feet? Oh, I'm not putting my weapons at your feet. This is a trap. He's going to take our weapons and he's going to attack us with them. Oh, no, I don't want to do it. Touchberry is intrigued, though. He says, I want to try. So, Fofire suggests, how about the sword that we took from the werewolf? How about that sword? Now, this is a normal sword +1. This could have gone to Fofire, and she could have had a melee weapon that was also magical, because she uses a normal sword. It could have gone to Fleetwood, for that matter, although he has a short sword he uses. But they decide they're going to put that, okay, at the feet of the statue. They lay it at the feet of the statue. There's a momentary pause, and then, this weapon has been used to slaughter the innocent. This weapon has been used for evil. You are unworthy. And as they watch, the sword disintegrates. Whoa. Touchberry says, I want to try it. Okay, here, Fleetwood is trying to talk him out of it. No, don't use your sword. It's a magic sword, Touchberry. It has healing powers. Don't put it in his feet. What if it vanishes? What if you're judged unworthy? Touchberry says, no, I want to try it. And said, no, use your dagger. No, I never use my dagger. It stays in my belt the whole time. And he plops his sword right there at the feet of the statue. And then the voice. This sword is used to slay evil and protect the weak. You are worthy. Ooh. The sword does not vanish, but instead they hear a click and a scrape, and a panel opens on the plinth, and out pour coins. Ha-ha! Touchberry snatches his sword, puts it in his sheath, with a rather smug look on his face, and they start gathering up the coins. It's not huge, but it's a little something, all right? This is when they notice, actually, that between the feet of the statue, there's a coin slot, like a big old piggy bank. This is where people brought offerings for Borvo. Borvo was a Celtic god of healing, and he was associated with spring water, with springs of healing. So, anyway, people would bring offerings and place them in, right? And they were judged on their worthiness. But if you don't come to bring an offering, then you are judged on your actions, right? Your offering is judged, or you are judged on your actions. And if you are carrying weapons, you are asked to lay them down. If you're carrying tools, you're asked to lay them down. Don't ask what happens if you're not carrying anything, because I don't know. But anyway, Borvo, right? God of healing. So they're like, oh, that's cool. I got some treasure, right? Okay, so they gather that up and they say, okay, we're going to leave. We don't want to go through those stairs, which I kind of wish they had, because they would have found, they would come up in the middle of a section of rocks that used to be standing stones, but they've tipped over and things like that, but it still camouflages the entrance, right? This was the ritual entrance. The other way was like the back door, in a sense. This was the ritual entrance up on the top of the hill overlooking the lake. Anyway, they don't do that. They decide to backtrack all the way through the dungeon, avoiding the trap with the blades and everything else, and back out. Where are you going to head? Well, let's go back to Honeywood. We found what we were looking for, and Valio's not here. The werewolves, there's only a couple here, but we found what he told us was here, so, well, let's go back. All right. Wonder if you'll find anything on the way home.